Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the SEA qualifiers for the Summit 7. We're going to be taking a look at a couple of wonderful matches throughout the evening, but most importantly, right now it's going to be GeekFam versus Faceless. It's all elimination matches today. That's all that's going on all day long. It's going to be craziness. And what better teams to have than I think Faceless, everybody may be a little bit surprised that they're here on the verge of elimination by GeekFam. They did lose yesterday to Warriors Gaming Unity, particularly after just coming 7th, 8th in the DAC 2017. It's craziness. But here we are, and, well, I'm Lyrical, going to be joined as well by Ryu. How you doing, man? You excited for the games today?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the SEA region does as a whole. I want to see how serious these guys are going to take it. Obviously, Faceless, they got to Kiev and whatnot, and I hope they're not trying to slow down their momentum before the tournament. But it seems like the SEA region is definitely getting a lot stronger, and all these teams are coming together and performing nicely now.
Totally, and you got a couple of great ones that are going to be taking place after this as well. We've got Mineski as well as Fnatic. They're going to be facing off the grudge match that I think everybody's excited to see. Again, want to apologize for coming into this one a little bit on the later side as far as the game is concerned. We were supposed to start 20 minutes ago, but Faceless was a little bit late into the lobby, and because of that, they do have a reserve time penalty as well. That's only for game number 1 as far as I'm aware, and then game number 2 will be reset. But interesting stuff here. Lina, Monkey King, thinking about maybe a Terrorblade pick for Faceless since they ban out the Tinker and the Invoker. Is there anything else that really interests you in the draft here?
These are pretty standard picks early on. Maybe not the Weaver. Maybe that's kind of interesting. They kind of want to tackle maybe the Lina having not very high armor. As we saw kind of yesterday, Lina got melted. She needed the Shivas. And Weaver adds that swarm to it, the negative armor. It also you can swarm the Monkey King, get really close in on him, and then try to kill him during his Wukong, or just trying to scout him out in the trees. So I think both teams have really strong picks. Like you said, good hero against Weaver right now is either Axe. As we saw yesterday, Axe can just completely ruin Weaver. He doesn't care that Weaver goes for Lincolns. But right now they're just going to pick up their other support hero and Disruptor.
Yeah, I like this one. It's a little bit weird maybe taking both of those support heroes that early, but GeekFam now going to go back for the Vengeful Spirit as well. Maybe a little bit of that answer for high ground. If you wanted to, you could just go like super high tempo and play Weaver in more of like the supporty role, which we sometimes see. I don't know if that's going to be the way that they decide to play this, though. It seems more likely it's just the position 1 Weaver, then Venge after the fact. Although I will say that Teehee, when he plays, does like to sometimes play on these more aggressive type of heroes, so we could see him take the Weaver. Be kind of unlikely, though.
Yeah, the reason why normally it won't be a support in this situation is because they already have the Earth Spirit playing 4, most likely. But at the same time, we've seen some SEA teams some teams just pick Earth Spirit and Wisp, and then they make the Earth Spirit kind of that 5 position, and then the Wisp is able to buy that fast bottle and stuff. But I'm not sure if I like that. This game, though, I don't think it really matters for Weaver and Venge between what core they play. It depends on like what Faceless pick next. Like that's going to dictate maybe who's going to be playing what for the core role for GeekFam, because they can still go aggro. Their tri-lane right now is super strong. Disruptor's not that strong early on. And then so now they're going to shore up their weakness in their tri-laning with the Disruptor. And then by getting a Juggernaut, he's going to help them out early, as well as just putting a lot of pressure on the map here.
Okay. Yeah, it's quite strong, and it feels like it's just a very tried and true tested strategy from Faceless that is going to be the Axe that comes out now. GeekFam take it instead of Faceless picking it up, but it still feels like it's quite a strong hero in this game. It's great against Juggernaut.
Yeah, it was a good hero for both teams. I'm surprised maybe Faceless just wanted to get their core early on, and then that opened up for this pick. And then GeekFam, they can still go for I wanted to try and incorporate the Terrorblade that you talked about earlier, but Terrorblade against Lina in the mid lane might not be that good for him. But if they can make it work, it is very strong against Juggernaut. It does decently versus the other heroes. Not not necessarily too strong against Faceless, but against the core Juggernaut, it's good. Now, GeekFam, they need a mid hero most likely next, and then Faceless, they need a offlaner. So, trying to see what's left in the pool that can really synergize well with both teams. It's going to be...
I mean, Centaur feels like it could be okay for Faceless.
5 seconds.
It's always so good.
Yeah, Faceless can pick either...
Reserve time.
They just ban like all ice heroes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Radiant
just
team pick.
4 offlane heroes banned.
That's
Hey,
it.
they're like, please pick the Centaur. That's like, it feels like it's the only thing that really is left.
Yeah, I mean, he's been known to play a lot of different type of heroes in there too, so we'll end up seeing Sand King is what they go for. So more team fight, more lockdown. Seems like a decent pickup to me.
Yeah, it's like, what do you want from your offlane? And Ice, I think he plays really active cores, so I don't want to see him. I didn't want to see them pick up an Omni Knight, even though he can probably play an Omni Knight. It could be maybe good versus the Earth Spirit and whatnot. Put on the Juggernaut, Siege and stuff. You could get the Centaur, but we see the Centaur not having too much success as of late. Their teams are finding better ways to shut him down early, and then they're doing a good job disengaging during the stampedes too. So instead, they're going to go back for a Sand King now. They're going to have some reliable lockdown for the Weaver, for the TA. This is going to be interesting to see how Faceless are going to run these lanes as well as Geek. Both teams have offensive capabilities with their tri-lanes and whatnot, but most likely they'll be defensive by nature, I feel, for both of them this game at least.
Yeah, well, and I think that it's set up for this big mid-game brawling style that we've seen more often than not. I will mention that it feels like Faceless is more in tune with the meta that we saw develop at DAC. Obviously, that international experience. You have a lot of these players from GeekFam that haven't had that same level of international experience. Well, they are still very, well versed in the SCA meta. They don't have that experience outside of the SCA scene, and we'll have to end up seeing how that works out throughout of it. And that's kind of always been the story of Faceless as a whole, is that they've been able to dominate C, but then when it comes to going outside of it, they don't end up performing as well. Whereas you take a look at a team like TNC and they perform better at TI or whatever else ends up happening. But we're getting into this one now. I'm done rambling. I'm excited to see how this match plays. And XY on his roaming Monkey King is just going to go be a bother for a bit.
And we have the TPs out to the bottom lane showing already. So maybe that tells Nuts that there was a ward placed, potentially, or a sentry. He has the one ward left in his inventory, but at the same time, he might have already placed something because he was coming back that way. Yeah, he's pinging already. Nuts should potentially place a sentry soon. We'll see what he wants to do. I do like both teams' lineup. I think TA, this is a game that TA can definitely take over and completely win it for his team. But at the other side of things, Monkey King, we've seen how deadly he can be early game. Lena with the respawn timer, huge hero in these team fights. Feels like she always dies first, comes back, and then has a huge impact on these team fights. So I want to see how both teams kind of play around their mids this game, because I do feel like this game is going to come down to the mids.
Yeah. Well, and I'm thinking back again to the way that the draft ended up working out towards the end of it, and it felt like there's this opportunity for GeekFam to take Alk if they wanted to, but instead they ended up going back for the Templar Assassin for Teehee, and this is against a player that wants to get aggressive early. We've seen him go for solo kills in lane a lot of times, and this to me is signaling the way that they want to try and play the matchup, which is more oriented towards taking fights early and just snowballing from there. But we already have a little bit of a dodge coming out. Axe is going to go to the safe lane, and Weaver is going to be going for that aggro try that you were talking about.
Yeah, I was thinking, do Geeks really have that big of a balls? And they're going to do it, actually, this game. So they're doing a good job. They've already set that aggressive sentry ward, making sure that Nuts can't pull. I mean, they already got vision. They're going to roll on them.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage early on. They are going to be able to push back the Vengeful Spirit for the moment, but as far as the other lanes go, is there any one that we really need to keep our... Are they going to actually kill him?
No, they just got a huge amount of damage, though. Keeping eyes on maybe top lane. This is normally in situations where Axe normally beats all 1v1s that are melee. This one's kind of like iffy at times. where X does have the advantage, but Ice can still kill him if Velo plays a little bit too aggressive here.
I'm just gonna say it. They're gonna have some T-tours in chat pretty soon here. It's gonna happen because those.
It's okay.
Like the stacks just happen so quickly with the caustic finale, and then you end up having the spins for Max. It's just a nightmare. Bottom lane feels like there's also a lot of potential for aggression. I mean, Monkey King not often thought of as a great tri-lane hero because he can sometimes just get caught out by a tree getting knocked down or something else like that. But looks like they're going already onto Raji, but a quick rolling boulder away and he'll be fine.
Most of the kill potential is going to be coming from top or bottom. If there's a kill mid, I think it's a pretty big misstep from either Teehee or Jabs. So that's at least eliminating one lane for you to miss. And plus, it's like my second day kind of back casting. I'm just getting back into the groove of my camera work
Almost
too,
definitely.
looking around the map. So I'll help you out, man.
I appreciate it.
Believe.
You're the best. You're just the bestest, man. Yeah, I know, definitely. For me, it was the switch over in the schedule as well. Had a lot of jet lag yesterday, but feeling quite good about it now. Venge under fire early on again, and they might be able to bring down Nuts here. He's taking a lot of damage, and that is going to be the first blood drawn by Sionix. So a nice pickup there, and XY also in some trouble. The Monkey King is going to go down. The tri-lane bottom kind of falling apart here at these early stages for Faceless.
Yep. That's just where you're like, you're playing really aggressive. You're able to do a lot of damage on these supports, but then all of a sudden Weaver got his level 2, and then Swarm comes out and then rip. Meanwhile, top lane, Velo was playing super aggressive on Ice. He got pretty low, but in this situation, it's not a one-sided affair just because of Axe having, or Sand King having this shrine now to work with, as well as the Monkey King did come up here. He's still only level 1 on Monkey King, but they could potentially put a lot of pressure on this Axe.
I mean, it seems strange though because it is still going to be 2 melee heroes against the Axe, and Velo should be able to be relatively okay. Monkey King now going to roam over towards mid, already in that courier shape, so gets the extra movement speed. And I mean, does this leave open the dual lane bottom to be exploited by GeekFam?
Yeah, this is just Monkey King saying that I can't do anything. I have to rotate somewhere. He's going mid, but I don't think it's going to amount to much.
Bottom lane, Black's in trouble again. They're running him down, and they have the stuns as well. Black is going to end up falling here, most likely, as they're just going to get beaten to death by Raji on this Earth Spirit. So again, a quite tough one, and up here in the top lane, Ice also in some trouble. Almost ends up going down there as, well, they find a return kill into Nuts.
Yeah, I was saying bottom because that was happening, but then I looked top too, and Ice was getting going on. Oh, there's just a lot of action everywhere, and that's kind of what you want to see. And they're just doing different. They're playing differently than they should be with Monkey King. So Monkey King, this game, what he did was he went for the courier snipe early on. Then he kind of wasted that, that 30-second, and then he went bottom, didn't get that kill on the Earth Spirit, and then they fed over the kills. So the Monkey King's impact this game it's not going to be felt until I feel he's like level 6, and that's not what you want from the Monkey King. You want him setting the tempo for early on. They do see 10-10.
Yeah, bringing him low, and that should be a kill, but maybe going to be able to find one in return. XY is going to drop now, and does look like they're going to be able to take down the Earth Spirit in turn. Nuts in some trouble. A little bit of a pause. That's fine. I mean, he's still most likely dead. I don't think there's any way that Black is going to be able to bring down Sionix after the fact either, particularly with those stick charges.
So they found a really nice opening. It just became nighttime. Dyer doesn't have vision anywhere, or it became night 40 minutes ago, or 40 minutes, geez, 40 seconds ago. But he came over here, he scouted out with the Monkey King, saw Venge out of position, they went on him, and then that's really all they needed. It's gonna be a 2-for-2, but at least Black didn't go down this time. So it's like Core's just trading farm and kills right now.
Yeah. So again, it's definitely feeling like it's one of these contentious periods. Ooh, Raji rotating the bottom lane, dropping a ward behind the tree line as well. And this should be a kill onto Ice as they roll in, get the silence as well as he goes in for it. The stun to follow. Burrow Strike trying to walk away from it. They actually do have a stick charge, but not going to be able to chase down the Sand King. So somehow Ice plays his way out of that one.
Yep. unfortunately, it's only a level 1 stun, so it doesn't last that long. And then he was able to, I think, kill a creep off while he was battle hungered with his caustic, and so he was just able to run away there. Else, he would have been dead because of the battle hunger. They could have chased him down. But because the rotation top, that means rotation's bottom. They glimpse. Do they have it? Yeah, they have it.
Able to get away. Monkey King actually jumped the wrong direction there. Black should still be able to run down this Vengeful Spirit, but in the meantime, they're going to try and take down Nuts as well. So Sionic's chasing him out, and that will be a kill. Maybe going to be able to find something more here onto XY. It doesn't look like Sionix wants to stick for it. So they will end up backing out. 7-3, still feeling quite good for GeekFam, even though the lane's not as far ahead as the kill score might suggest.
Yeah, they're still doing a really good job of shutting down like Black's farm, where it's not just complete free farm. Like he has 29, but at the same time, if it was uncontested, it'd be like 40 or so. And then I'm really surprised Black's doing as well as he has been. But that's kind of like how it's really hard for them to go on the Juggernaut and kill him. Like the only way they can really do that is if they get a silence, I feel, with the Earth Spirit. And then we saw the Earth Spirit rotating top lane. So they took the good opportunity, went in. Meanwhile, just some scouting out going on in the jungle.
Ooh. I thought they were going to go for Black, but, well, he actually got a little bit aggressive there. They might think about diving for him.
Maybe they're expecting the supports to be back in the lane. Yep, so they didn't want to dive. There is this smoke rotation coming over. They don't know about this. This is Alina coming out of her mid lane. You normally don't see this too often.
No, the long-range Boundless Strike. Sionix maybe get a little bit aggressive, and they are going to find that kill. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Ice takes down Velo, and it looks like they might even be able to find a secondary kill now onto the Vengeful Spirit as they just run her down.
That was super weird coming from the Weaver. He was just like, maybe he didn't see the Lina.
Yeah,
like we were able to. I don't. He should have popped Sakuchi. He was like, oh, there's just a Boundless Strike for no reason. That's kind of weird, right? So his Spidey senses weren't tingling or something, and then that solo kill on top lane is going to help out Ice to his quick dagger.
Yeah, he's getting closer to it, certainly. They're both building towards it, and you can see sort of the strength that you get from Sand King picking up the double bounty rune as well. And I mean, is he going to get the third? It looks like he's heading over that direction. Backs out. He's going to go fill up and instead take down the creeps in lane first. But you can see that they're still controlling and messing around a little bit with Raji. They throw out a kick, thinking about going on to jabs, rolling Boulder forward a little bit off the mark. That might end up being his death, though, because Black has rotated in, and now they run down the Earth Spirit. Maybe going to be able to find this kill onto 2. GeekFam getting heavily under fire here. Just a little bit too aggressive by the Earth Spirit and kind of baited his team into a bad position, and now Faceless looking to take down the Tier 1 tower.
Yeah, this is what happens when you have a lean on your team and a Juggernaut. You're just able to rotate effectively anywhere on the map, and you can do it really fast. Oh. And the roll.
Oh, he still gets the kickoff, and jabs taking the damage. Light Strike Race going to connect. They need to find out the Boundless Strike. Oh, that was such a good play there by the Monkey King.
I was like, yeah, he's 100% dead. And then all of a sudden, they coordinated that really well timed play. I don't know if he knew that was up. Like, that's just like heat of the moment decision of like.
It shows a lot of trust in your teammates.
Right.
That's something that you don't see out of just like any random team, I feel like.
Maybe he just assumed he would be stunned long enough to get out, which wasn't the case. So still, at the end of the day, a really sick play. Meanwhile, top lane, he found him, but
don't want to go for it. I mean, that's something else that's worth noting. I think after the games yesterday, a lot of people were writing Faceless off. They're like, yeah, you know, this team, they just ended up doing well at a big tournament. They don't care about the qualifiers, but really still showing that they have what it takes to be a considered the best team in Southeast Asia in a lot of terms. I think that TNC would definitely be arguing with that role for them, but there's definitely some credence to what Faceless has done.
Yeah, they're just duking it out right now, though. Both teams are. Let's look at the net worth actually in this game. It's not looking too bad. So, I really do I'm trying to figure out what Geek Squad can really do in this situation because they're getting heavily pressured in these last 3 minutes and they haven't stopped the bleeding. They haven't found any ways to trade any towers anywhere. Do they know he's there? They're gonna have. Oh,
what a hero! What a freaking hero! You just jump away.
You just need swap. Where's my swap? The only level 4 on Venge. Can't really do much about that.
All right, this could be a really big moment right here, though. Axe is so close to his Blink Dagger. If Jabs is able to get a Laguna Blade off with like an Omni Slash on top of it, you do not want to lose Velo at this point in time in the game. Looks like they're going to just back out, realizing we don't need to take this fight right now. Wait for the Blink Dagger to be up, sacrifice the tower. They don't get anything in return for it, so that's definitely the detriment for GeekFam.
And then this is where Faceless are going to start invading the jungle. You can see the line that's drawn. They want to take this next tower. They want to put up the pressure and try and take away these Ancients from the TA so she's not able to farm faster than she normally can. She's going to be going for the Blink Dagger next, which that means that they really want to play aggressive with both of their Blink Daggers online. Meanwhile, Ice, place the ward down. They know, though.
Yeah, getting that canceled out now. They do have a glimpse. Pulling one back, but that does mean Glimpse is used already. Now, XY in the high ground, he's spotting all of this. They actually spotted the courier going over to him, though. So if they want to, they could try and set up for this and take down a couple of trees. But XY does wisely back out.
So XY, he's got level 5 now. He just got the tome. Unfortunately, he's not going to have his level 6. Nice stun.
Big call. No, it's off the mark. They get the Static Storm down as well, and now they jump onto Teehee. They might end up bringing him down as well. Does manage to walk away from that Static Storm. Still in some trouble, though. They have another call in a second. If they want to use it, it's going to be a big call. Connects onto 2 at the very least. They take down 1. Omni Slash comes out, but it's not enough damage. Black gets taken down by Velo, alive on 30 HP. Now Jab's in trouble as well. Faceless are crumbling to the huge amount of damage. Sionix takes down another. Holy shit.
It's okay, Lena's back, guys. Who cares? You wouldn't even think she died there, so that was a 4 for...
Nothing.
4 for 0. What a trade coming in there, and it pretty much was all in the back there of Roger, getting basically a 4-man magnetized for about, a good 10-15 seconds. All that damage kept spreading out. He got a good silence afterwards, too, into stun. Now they're finding out XY on the bottom. They have swap available. That really helped 10-10 that fight too. He just got so much EXP. They're gonna have the swap to work with next, and that Static Storm isn't even gonna come close to bringing down TA next time.
They need to be a little bit careful here with Black rotating in. They don't have Omni Slash, but they do have Laguna Blade. Man, I really thought that with Axe jumping in and missing his call because of the Static Storm right at the start of that fight, that it was gonna go so much better for Faceless, but. Just showing
he didn't get caught in the Static Storm. Yeah. That's why it didn't become very problematic. If he did, yeah, I feel like that fight would have been over as well.
So, really well played. It does look like, again, the movements from Faceless, they want to try and take down this bottom tier 1 tower. But Velo is up there in the trees. There was a ping that came out. Monkey King spots him. Now Boundless Strike. They do have a Kinetic Field. Static Storm catches Velo. They still have swap available. So
doesn't want to use it because of the glimpse.
Yeah, I mean, they're fine. All of this is perfectly fine. And now, looking for the call. He actually cancels it. Jumps forward, just gets the dunk. Velo, have a little bit of mercy on that man. They have a swap out, gonna keep him alive. Actually swaps Ice instead of swapping the Axe, and because of it, this fight is gonna go terribly for GeekFam. They do jump forward with TE, trying to take down XY. That's 1 kill. Now looking over for Black, but another Burrow Strike comes out. Can they clean up? It looks like it's gonna happen. They've taken down 3 already from both sides, but considering how much was invested from Faceless, it again feels okay for GeekFam.
Man, this Lina instant respawning after these last 2 team fights is just kind of silly. He's able just to TP to the top lane, deep push, and whatnot. But that team fight, once again, that was a weird swap coming in from 10-10, like I said. But Teehee just cleaning up, and you can see the power of the TA in this game. Yeah, well, gonna go bottom lane Black. They want to defend this tower, and yep, they're just going to be able to do it.
And you know, I really like GeekFam's draft. One reason is because of the way that they have these like highly mobile cores, the Weaver and the TA, and normally these, like, TA is a hero that would drop off towards the later game, but I feel like with the level 25 that she has, the +3 refraction instances, and not a ton of ways for Faceless to break through those, it's a really great game for her. It's going to be so much harder.
Most of the damage instances has to be coming from Monkey King ulti as well as Disruptor ulti. So that's where they're going to get most of their damage from on the TA, but you saw how TA just immediately blew up the Monkey King and was like having none of that. So they had a smoke Faceless. Now they're going to be going back for Roger. They didn't want to kill him because they wanted a more prize kill, but then it was like, oh, let's just get him anyway.
Yeah. And I mean, underneath the ward, you sort of, if you're Roger there, it looks bad because he was showing for so long, but he was showing under a ward. He wasn't showing in lane. He expected he was safer than he actually was.
Geek's warding right now is just not that good. They don't show anybody coming into the Dire side besides this one over here near the Roche pit. So they can come from the secret shop of the Radiant side and whatnot and just completely take them over. And that's why Faceless are in this position right now. They're able to put the Monkey King in a safe position to look, scout out, and they're going to take this tier 2 tower.
And with Ice up here on the high ground, GeekFam going to be in a lot of trouble if they do step too far forward. Actually, Monkey King going to scout out Sionix. He doesn't know. There's one more tree than there's supposed to be here, buddy. But they are still going to jump in now. Jab's going to get jumped upon. They drop down another Static Storm, but Velo, he's still so tanky in all of this. They're going to be able to pull out one. Roger does die right on the tip of that one. That's going to be Jab's barely staying alive, but now TE takes him down. Sionix, there's the time lapse away. So they keep him alive, but yeah, the suicide ends up meaning that everybody gets healed back up, and they're going to be fine with it. Now they might even take down Sionix. Trying to juke, trying to jive. Not going to happen. Finish him off.
What a perfect Static Storm. Venge is just hesitating a little bit too long, trying to figure out where they're going to swap and what they're going to do. That heal basically saved that team fight. They have a lot of ways to sustain for Faceless, and you could just see it there. The Bloodstone Suicide, the healing ward that they had to focus early on. There was no Magnetize coming in during that team fight from Roger because he got caught by the Static Storm. So exceptional play coming in from Mr. Nuts. And they're going to get some more.
Yeah, Raji in trouble. They get to swap out, keeping him alive for the moment. Now on the other side, Velo gets a big call onto Jabs. Can they bring him low enough for the dunk? Is going to be able to find the kill. Nonetheless, Teehee takes him down. Ice, Spuro Strike onto Raji, trying to kill him off. But they have the Sentry Ward, and, well, that's going to be a triple for Teehee. We talked about this guy being aggressive, and he's certainly showing it here.
Yep. He's going to put this team on his back. He's going to say, this is my game to win for you, team. Don't worry about it. And he's pretty much showing up in these instances. Interesting Faceless putting on the pressure without having Disruptor ulti and the Sand King ulti. Even the Monkey King ulti was on cooldown. So now, losing that team fight, heavy armor reduction team, what does that mean? You go Roche.
And now you're going to be able to pick that up, throw it onto Templar Assassin. GeekFam looking quite strong in this one. And, I mean, you can see also with the itemization that they're going for next. He's going to be picking up a BKB, wants to just barrel down lanes, try and take advantage, and finish the game off as quick as possible.
Yeah, even if they don't finish off the game... Oh, missed there from the Boundless. But even if they don't finish off the game, he has to get it just because there's just too much ways to... just because of this Disruptor hero, you're forced into this BKB. It's like, okay, well, if he gets one Q on me, which is his Thunderstrike, then he can just glimpse me back. In a situation where I'm going to be glimpsed back into a Static Storm, and then I'm done. My hero is completely useless. Also, the Static Storm set up from a stun from the Sand King or the Boundless Strike pretty much ends TA. So you have to get the BKB so you're able to be mobile in the team fight.
What have we here?
And, I mean, I'm seeing also it's like... there's so much magical damage just across the board, like epicenter, everything, and that he obviously wants to go in deep for it. And the big problem is it kind of forces Juggernaut into Omni slashing him every fight if they want to bring down the TA, because otherwise, how do you kill this guy? It's tough.
Yep.
But nonetheless, 16-18, a very scrappy one so far, and it looks like they're trying to set up onto Black. Misses the Meld Strike. TE. Not going to connect there. But do you see them trying to pressure down the rest of these towers at this point?
Oh, both teams are smoked. They used it.
Oh.
He saw him.
Oh my god. All right, well, Static Storm used. They still have Aegis on Teehee. They don't really care. They get the call onto XY. Gonna bring him down as well. That's 2 dead.
And then this is going to be at least 1 tower, if not 2. They might want to kill Ice top lane. Oh, or Spirit. Just 5 seconds too late. That would have been a kill on Sand King. Sand King is still staying in the area. This is really weird. Ice builds, I have no idea why he went for drums.
Huh. That is a different look.
I guess he just wants the more survivability and just to move faster.
Yeah. Maybe get out of range of the axe or something. It's definitely a different one. But, I mean, Ice is going to do what Ice is going to do. That being said, I don't know what he's doing right now. He's just chilling, waiting for somebody to come back.
He's just creep skipping. Yeah, he really wants somebody to come back so they can, so they know where they can either smoke gank for Faceless or they know where they can farm freely. Like they feel very limited what they can do right now. See how they're only playing in this little one area because they don't know where the enemy is right now.
I mean, he's chilling. He's not going anywhere for a little while. I'm curious if he does end up catching anybody, but might bite off more than he could chew. They're going to show in lane now. There's 1 TP coming back. He's going to blink into the trees. Velo a little bit off the mark with the call. So I guess that ends up being fine.
Yep. But because they lost the Disruptor there and 2 towers, that's basically the TA's BKB completed with this Aegis. So they got the Aegis and that secured the towers as well as the BKB on TA, and that's what they wanted for the Geek squad here. And then that's going to help them escalate to even higher levels afterwards. And then they might want to try and close out the game with the next Roche, but saying that they still got to win at least 1 or 2 more team fights.
Yeah. The nice part about it is that you look at their vision and they have so much of it. Like they spotted the Disruptor just heading over there through the mid lane. They realize that all of Faceless are going to be moving down towards bottom, and this gives them a lot more information towards like their decision making around the map. So they're going to try and pressure tier 2, see if they can trade it out, and as you said, maybe close it out with the next round of Aegis.
Yeah. Both teams, we didn't talk about it too much earlier on, which team has the edge going into the later game. I'd say it's about a little bit favored for the Geek squad just because if Axe gets a call on the Juggernaut with Blade Mail, they have no way to save him. Actually they do, I lied. They have the Yules on Ice now. So now that he has that picked up, they can save their precious Juggernaut, and I guess that will be the tipping point in these team fights to see how that works out. See, they want to do the
He's going to go right now. Yeah, there's going to be the call, but the Yule Scepter pickup, they still got Black, though. Gonna 3-shot him. Teehee doing a ton of damage. Sight's in trouble now as well. They do get 1 Laguna Blade out, but it's looking like it's not really going to be enough. Can they swap? No! Not going to be able to get it off. Oh, that was so close.
Oh, Ice
is going to drop. They got him. Man, that was... I don't know if just they didn't have vision or what, but Lina, by right, should have been dead there.
Yeah, good Shadow Blade. But that's just what happens. Even though they had the play, that was the play in their head too. They're like, okay, we have the Yule Scepter. It's going to be fine for us, but it's not because they have the TA who's just doing too much damage.
Oh. And I mean, you look at this over here. They are going to have the vision in the area for any Shadow Blade shenanigans that come out. They catch onto jabs yet again. He has so many stacks of fire. He's always killing himself. Oh my God! And now Nuts in trouble. GeekFam, they are running all over him. Ice might be able to make this work. Again, swapping in the Sand King, trying to make this play happen, but another call, a little bit off the mark. They aren't going to be able to quite connect with them. Now Velo in some trouble. Black chasing. Laguna Blade, he's on no HP anyways, and now they don't have the damage to run down the rest of these guys. Maybe they actually do as, well, there's going to be the jump in from T. Omni Slash comes out, so a lot of refraction. It's his turns, eliminates Black. Ice, they turn to fight, they want a battle, come at me, but is gonna still fall regardless, and Ice lives in the sandstorm.
Oh man, if that dust was up for Sionix, he was dead. Ice is dead, potentially could have got out, and that's just The reason why they lost that team fight for Geek Squad is because this Lena respawn timer plus the Bloodstone. It's just she'll always get taken down in team fights, it feels like, early on, but she'll come back at the right time to clean up. And that's just the power of Lena. You're just always going to have her twice in team fights. So they have to start thinking about that a little bit better for Geek Squad when they do overcommit like that.
Yeah. Well, and I guess the thing, though, is that it still feels like this draft of theirs is going the way they want it to. It's about a 4,000 net worth lead, around 7,500 experience into their favor. Faceless have a lot of ways to pull it back and, you know, bring it back into their favor, but it needs to be off the back of, like, you know, those perfect executions in team fights, which we haven't quite seen yet from them. Ooh, gets the dust out. They spot out jabs, but can't do anything to capitalize on it.
I'd say ES, the one hero I really don't want to play against when I'm ES nowadays, it's like Lena's, because they have max movement speed, so it feels like it's impossible to hit your kicks, sometimes even your silences. It's just like they're moving around with 450 plus movement speed all the time, and just, that's the thing about ES. Sometimes even when you have the blink dagger, it's really hard to hit your stuns. So now they're smoked though, and this could be a good opportunity. Did they just D-ward? I think they know where they are.
Oh, they're all in the Roche pit, but they just walked over the TA trap. Oh no, that is not what needs to happen. The stun comes in, connects onto 3. Oh, the silence as well is there, but they're on top of jab's gonna bring him down. Another kill onto Black. They walked into the TA trap. I mean, obviously you don't know that that's necessarily gonna be there, but you kind of would expect it a little bit. Unfortunate situation there for Faceless.
And there's perfect execution coming in from the Geek Squad where, oh, they got Ice Ice Ice. Kick is going to be timed perfectly.
Oh my god, another kill, and now you're down 3 heroes threatening high ground, and they can't really do anything about it. It's just gonna jump forward, almost eliminates jabs, showing the strength of TA in this one. Teehee not afraid.
You know what would have been really cool if like Weaver was able to get that dust in on top of the Lena?
Oh yeah.
Is the Wukong.
They swap him. Oh god. They are going to be able to blow up at least the Vengeful Spirit, but now you don't have a Monkey King.
Still.
And
BKB still on Teehee.
Roger's there. They get the stun, 4-step forward, trying to bring low jabs. They are going to be able to find that kill. GeekFam just running over Faceless. There is no stopping this train.
I just say that. He stopped in the kinetic field. You lied to me. He's stunned.
Well,
they're fine.
Yeah,
they're fine.
I don't know if they're that concerned. Holy crap.
Oh, the game just got opened up.
Oh, and Roche is going to be up soon as well here, it looks like. Man, that play by Raji, he's been the standout performer for me in this one. Velo's been having a great game too, but...
Yeah, Raji pretty much won them the first team fight, which like helped them secure this later game, and then they're going to be going now onto Ice Ice Ice, maybe?
No. He's going to sandstorm away. Velo found him, though. The call, the catch. Wow.
His blink was up for 5 seconds. I'm really confused why he didn't use it, or if he was just...
I mean, maybe wanting...
Maybe just not knowing where everyone was or something, but yeah. It's just kind of a little bit weird from Ice 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 there.
The unfortunate thing, too, Disruptor just had to TP back home. I think that he got stuck in the trees by where these creeps were, and was afraid that he was going to get jumped on, but now this leaves open a little bit of a moment to go in for Roche. So GeekFam going to try and take this down, and with Aegis in hand, ready to start barreling down another lane, I'm really concerned for what Faceless do at this point.
Yeah, especially now that Weaver has BKB too. I don't know how they're going to kill these 2 cores if they start off.
Oh my god.
They try to, yep.
Okay, all right. Shrine has already been popped. They're going on to T. He still has BKB available as well as Aegis. He's not going to drop there. Raji just able to walk away from this one. Monkey King pops out the ultimate, but they immediately swap him out of it as well. Now they've controlled XY, have the magnetize on him as well. Going to be able to run down another. Sionix just taking this ultimate because of the BKB. The call is off the mark, but guess what? They got the Fusion Blade. They got the silence, and GG is going to be called. Faceless on the verge of elimination. Oh, lordy.
I thought you were about to say disbanding.
No, I can't say that.
I'm just kidding. That looked really gruesome. Faces, I really love their strategy, though. They had a really good early game, a really decent mid game until they pushed the tempo too much in that bottom lane where they got super aggressive and then they got flanked. And TA pretty much took over this game. It was the TA show. It was either going to be the TA show or the Lena show, and then, yep, it turned out to be the Mr. TA.
Yeah, TA for T-He, doing it well.
T-he.
He's a player. This is a guy who's been around the region for a long time. One of the original members, I do believe, of TNC back in the day before we ended up seeing them switch up their roster and bring in Cuckoo and all the other changes that team has had throughout the years. And they're looking quite strong. Faceless need to come up with some answers because, again, they're one game away from getting eliminated from the Summit 7 qualifiers. This is a tournament you certainly don't want to miss for these guys. Ryu, any final thoughts going into game number 2? Break it down for me. What's on your mind?
I thought they gave a little bit of the kills, too many kills early on, but then all of a sudden Faceless did fight back, and then they opened up the game completely where they just got all the towers, and then they just hit a block in there, and then they just gave up too many kills. They gave up the Roshan. So it's just more so about these mid-game decision makings for Faceless. They need to be a little bit more crisp on those, and then Faceless, I could easily see them winning this game too. So it's just basically going to come down to play, I feel, for the next game, because both teams' lineups, they were good this game.
All right, well, we're going to have to see what happens as far as the draft, as far as the play. We'll be back in a little bit. Again, a full day of Dota today. We got this one, Faceless versus GeekFam, and then a little bit later on, it's the grudge match. It's going to be Mineski versus Fnatic, Miracle versus Mineski, Mushi versus Fnatic. It's the world is topsy-turvy, but we have to find some new semblance of normalcy in the craziness that is Dota 2 nowadays. So we'll be back in a bit. See you guys then.